It's the day before Thanksgiving, month of November, and I'm going to show you that this garden back in April was filled with, this is my basil, by the way, basil plants. And then around this corner was I have a few cucumber plants, the pickling kinds. Well, 3 months ago I harvested a bunch of them. I pickled them, and once they were all done bearing fruit, then I uprooted them. Along this side and in between the bougainvillea plants, I have all of my beautiful marigolds flowers that actually was pretty good in keeping bugs up. And in this area were my pepper, green bell pepper, tomatoes, basil, and then on this corner right there, if you could see it, is where my thyme was growing. It died when the first frost came, and then I noticed that it's coming back. I just watered it a little bit. Well, what was over on this corner were another green bell pepper, a few basils, and 2 tomato plants. All of those have already finished bearing fruits. This tomatoes actually is a 1 plant tomato. I left it because whatever plants I have uprooted about 2-3 months ago were the ones that were already dead, worse looking than this one, and it stopped bearing fruit, so I uprooted them. And this one actually was still showing some flowers back then, so I left it. And I noticed that after the frost, when I first frost a few weeks back, and this is in Arizona, I noticed that there were still flowers that started to bloom or started to show. You can see I had these tomatoes. By the way, these are the salad tomatoes, I call them, because they're tiny, and they were meant to be. They're sweet, they're beautiful, and if you notice, they're still showing some flowers. So these are still the future fruits that are going to come out of those flowers. And there's still a bunch in here also showing. And this is just for 1 plant, and I used to have it right back against the fence. And if you notice that I have a piece of wood in there that was holding it up with some ties and with some wires I have against the fence, but I thought it's gonna die anyway in a few weeks, so I just lift it that way. And then I noticed that because it's so heavy that it actually fell to the ground now. And this is another tomato. Looks like it's going to die pretty soon to me, but it's not giving up. I'm seeing fruits everywhere. I love my tomatoes. Anyway, they make me happy every morning when I come out and watch them fruiting, flowering. There's another plant right there. There's one in here that's, well, I just leave it there. I'm gonna just allow that to do that way. And this is another plant, just 1 plant tomato plant that it just gone crazy after I just say, you know, I'm just gonna leave it alone because it's gonna die anyway. But I'm gonna show you closer how it looked like. So this, look at the flowers and look at all these flowers. So that is only telling me that unless it gets real cold, they probably continue bearing fruit for another month or two. Because if you can see, I want to show you on this plant, this is just a one plant. I've got lots of fruits laying on the ground. It's because tomatoes are heavy. And look at that, tomatoes everywhere, green tomatoes, red tomatoes, tomatoes everywhere. Underneath, I'm digging down here now just to show you that there are tomatoes everywhere. There's tomatoes, here's some tomatoes, and tomatoes, and this is on the ground. Tomatoes everywhere. It's just everywhere, and it's beautiful. Love it. And by the way, since I've planted tomatoes, I used to go to Fry's and buy tomatoes almost every other day because I use a lot of tomatoes for anything that I cook, and it cost me 99 cents a pound. I tell you, since I started planting tomatoes, I have not bought any tomatoes for let me see, it's April, May, since June. I've actually have harvested a bunch of them. I have also given away a lot of it. I tell my neighbors to come by if they want some tomatoes and harvest it themselves for free. And there's more tomatoes. So what I'm trying to say is that tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and usually I won't use this for making pasta caprese, because I would need a lot of tomatoes, and I had to take out all the seeds out of tomato. And as you can see, they're tiny because they're salad tomatoes actually. I'm not sure if even I'm gonna use it for that caprese, pasta caprese, since I have basil plant too. So all I needed to buy is the mozzarella cheese. Yeah, if it'd be a lot of slicing, but if not, then I might have to buy me the bigger kind of tomato. The Roma is a little bigger, so I could buy maybe 2 pounds for 1 box of the bow tie pasta. So there you go. I just want to show you that this is just one plant of tomato that I still have, still fruiting, still a lot in there. There's a lot. They're beautiful. Love it. It makes me happy. Look at that. So that's one plant, and I showed you one over there in that corner. That's next to my thyme, and there's another one tomato. These are tomatoes. They're not crawling on the ground because it's heavy, and I left it like that because I thought I'm gonna have to uproot them anyway, but it don't look like it. So now it's kind of hard for me now to tie them because it's really heavy. I'm afraid to break the branches. So this is my thyme, by the way. I'm sorry, basil. So my basils, You could see in between the basils that is actually my there. That's parsley. I cut them down almost down to the root, all at the same time, and I uprooted all the tomatoes that were not bearing fruit anymore. But I noticed that this one is another parsley here. I cut them down to the root, almost down to the root. If you notice here, okay, see this? But I came out yesterday and I saw that it was coming back. So there. And so some of the basil already have a lot of flowers in it. I was able to harvest them, dry them, and now I replanted them. And here is an example of one of that flower. I just put it just now. Here is one of them. That's a basil flower that I took out from here. Okay, it's dried up, it's ready to plant. So I just kind of like bury it in there a little bit with the wet soil. And what I have actually done when I uprooted everything, I thought, yeah, since I have all these empty parts, I want to try and see if I could grow the basil and maybe bring them inside the house when it gets cold. And I didn't expect it to sprout right away. I know that it would take 3 weeks before it starts showing, but believe it or not, I was surprised, because yesterday, if you notice, there are some basil sprouts now. Those are basils. See, these are basil sprouts. This is from what I just put in there. Oh, and by the way, forgot to mention it to you also. I had in between those marigolds that I planted before, actually were sunflowers, and I have lots of seeds out of that too. I have 5 sunflowers. That's all I can plant in there. I don't have a big yard. So anyway, that's just showing you a little bit of just to tell you how beautiful my tomatoes are. Alright, thank you for watching.